Common sense media activated.
Live from the 210, it's the Wave of the Few Short Show, and we are your hosts, Mr. Trey M. Carr, and I am E. James.
Welcome everyone to Wave of the Few Shore, aka WFS. We are a panel discussion show amongst friends covering a few articles and happenings around the world, mostly rooted in trends, society, news, and culture, with a dash, a touch, a sprinkle of comedy. On this episode, we'll be talking about the Jonathan Majors arrest, Justin Roiland's case dismissal, and the Sober Curious movement. But before we get into those, we're going to do something a little bit different, something we haven't done before. There's been a lot of breaking news, some tragedy, some indictments, some ratchetness. No, I'm playing. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing all right, brother, man. Can't complain. We're living life, man. It's getting ready to be April. Spring is in the air, right? So it's a new season, new vibes, right? New waves.
Man, this year is already going by so quick. Can't believe it's almost April. Wow. What about you, Carr?
This is my first fiscal quarter I've survived in my new job, so that's pretty cool. That's a fiscal quarter, but also there's a bunch of news, so it's kind of hard to stay focused when there's so many headlines flashing at you and notifying you on your phone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that, I send you memes all day.
No, those are enjoyable, not the other news stuff that I get from YouTube and the like. Yeah, I'll take the memes.
And to my employer, it's not all day, but I send some out, from time to time.
On your lunch break, yeah, for sure.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh man. So before we start rolling into the darkness, y'all have any love, shout outs, gratitude, anything like that you want to put into the universe?
Yeah, I want to start by shouting out my buddy B and his fiance A. I don't want to name names, but yeah, they've been really close friends to me for over a decade, and I helped them move last weekend, and they're on to bigger and better things. They're going to go to school for a while out of town, so it was nice to catch up.
That deserves some applause. School's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. And for my buddy, for that guy, it's a war of attrition. So he just has to slam those books as hard as he can against his head. So, but he'll get there. He'll do good. And I just have nothing but fond memories, even when it weren't so fond. So here's to you, B. Hope everything goes good for you, buddy.
Enjoy Houston. That's where he's going, right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, H-Town's a lot of fun, man. I want to just give some love to my wife, man. It's her birthday the other day, and it's just cool to do this thing called life with a person. So just all love to her. Happy birthday. She does a lot for the family. So just a little appreciation, because I couldn't raise these kids without that lady. So love.
Oh,
I couldn't do this shit, bro. They're girls. Hair. What?
Bet your shower's a nightmare.
Huh? What am I going to give a shout out to? I guess I'll say my kids, man, for sticking with their sports. My daughters are doing basketball and gymnastics. My younger daughter starts her I-9 basketball season on Saturday. So that's like a slightly competitive, not really kind of league, more developmental based, just kind of trying stuff, see if they like it. She's got that going on. And then my son started last weekend, T-ball, and that dude was crushing it. He was knocking him out the park for a 4-year-old. I was like, dang, son. And he's like, he just hit it in these stairs. I'm like, go. So
admiring his work.
Yeah. Well, they still trying to understand the concept of hit it and then run. It's just like, yeah, I did that. Take your base, boy. So they only do like 2 innings per game. So it goes by quick. The game ends up being like a half hour.
Oh man, I wish real baseball was like that.
Yeah, they just had opening day today, man, and the games were shorter. The shortest games they've had on opening day since 1985 for the majority of the games. So they have that pitch clock going. You get 15 seconds if nobody's on base, and like an extra 5 seconds, 20 seconds if somebody's on base. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
speeding up the game, baby. Trying to make it enjoyable. Go Stros.
It's a new thing. Yeah.
Oh, Rangers. All right, y'all. So, elephant in the room. This isn't today. This happened when? 2 days ago? Nashville shooting?
Yeah. Yep. It was a terrible day for a Tuesday for sure.
Yeah. 3 students, 3 teachers were gunned down at a school in Nashville, Tennessee.
I just want to say, first of all, rest in peace to the people that lost their lives. My kids aren't in private school, but my kids go to school. They're not with me for a portion of the day. And as a parent, I just give my total condolences to those parents because can't imagine what they're going through. But there's an issue out here, man. There's definitely an issue, and I don't know what the answer is, to say the least, but something's going on.
I feel the same. It's a hot button topic, and there's too many factors at play that kind of overlook the fact that 6 people died, and still that conversation has to change, whether it has to be through legislation or whatever. Still have to recognize the fact that people still lose their lives in places where we all commute to. Even kids commute, So why can't we feel safe? Why can't we feel safe going to school, going to college, going to work one day? Man, I hope not,
Yeah. I've had a conversation about this with various people. I'll be upfront. I am a gun owner. I wouldn't call myself, a gun fanatic or enthusiast. They're tools. They're for protection. The reason why I have one, I do like them, but not that I need to justify myself, and neither do either of you. I'm just purely speaking from my perspective. It's like, I'm not going to get caught without one. If they got them, I got to have one. So the bad guys don't care. It's just like, I hope to God that I never have to use it outside of a shooting range or hunting for food.
Yeah, me too. It should just be for that. But not everybody sees those things that way.
There's so many things that play into this, the mental health aspect. People say, well, ban assault weapons. But what's classified as an assault weapon? I mean, if I take a butter knife and I stab you, that becomes an assault weapon. And I know somebody out there is going to listen and they're going to get angry and go, no, don't do that. I'm not taking the NRA side. I'm not taking any sides. I'm just thinking about this as a parent, as a gun owner, as just a regular person with no political power to change this. You have one side saying ban the weapons or ban certain types of weapons. You have another side saying, well, guns don't kill people, people kill people. And that is technically true. Person controls the gun. They say blame mental health. Yes, there's definitely a mental health problem. But then at the same time, what programs are going into place to help people with mental health issues to try to prevent things like this? My teammate and I at work talked about this, and we were saying we're both in agreement that basically schools should probably have, fences around them, tall fences, maybe some cameras, one or two single points, a single point of entry or 2 points of entry. One that's the second one being open only during certain hours, right? More schools should look like that. 1 to 2 armed guards at the school. I'm not saying that this is ideal and that I love this idea. I'm saying that to address the problems that we're having now, and the news is being, the news amplifies these situations as they happen more and more. We're hearing more about it. Okay, this is a temporary solution to those problems. But the reality is we can't even invest in our schools themselves. Teachers are underpaid. So why are they going to spend all this money on that? You know what I mean? It's tough.
I get that though. For me, it's like this is a multi-part issue. And again, don't want to get too big on the issue, but guns are, like you said, all gun owners, right? Guns are a part of the issue, but it's a societal issue. Like things like schools were off. We've had guns around forever. You didn't go to schools with the guns, with the kids, the innocent kids. Yeah. Church. You may not be religious. You may not be a thing, but people were probably more religious back in those days, but still there were spots that you just didn't do things like that. No matter what kind of society or place that you grew up into, everybody has a gun that gets into the hands of a robber that hits the corner store and something, it doesn't matter where you live. So I don't know, man. I just say, that's the biggest issue that we got to worry about.
Yeah.
So to close this out, this is my bad news ritual. This is kind of corny, but I don't care. But every time I hear one of these things, I'll play the song Jeremy by Pearl Jam. I know it's like on Kiss all the time. I know it's kind of a cheeseball hit, but those words ring true to me every time I hear it. And what you'll hear in a lot of riot training people, they have these people that go to schools now and tell people what to do. Their first step beyond anything is to treat people kindly. And yeah, every time I hear that song, it's a testament to somebody who got raised wrong. And yeah.
Well, and to add a layer of complexity to this, the shooter was transgender.
That's another layer that,
go ahead.
It just charges up the conversation in a different direction that a lot of people want to chime in with their opinions on this. And it's like, all right, here's another element that throws a wrench into the situation.
Not only was it a church school, but then there was an extra layer to that. Isn't that something crazy to think about? These headlines are very headliney.
I don't know, man. With that, you've got the people that are already, they feel the way they feel about transgender people on the negative end of that aspect, is what I'll say. So you add this situation to it, and it gives them fuel for that fire. See? It's like, come on, man. That's like saying all one group is bad. All black people, all gay people, all Muslims, all white people, all, you know what I mean? I could just, you can pile it on, and people are taking away the wrong message out of this. The most important thing is that 3 kids, 3 adults, 6 people, that's simple math for you, lost their lives, and they didn't have to. And this is becoming a reoccurring thing in our sphere. My question to all you people that have power, I don't need your thoughts and prayers. I don't need to hear ban guns. I don't need to hear guns don't kill people, people kill people. I need y'all, and we can consider ourselves, I guess, the media, because now we have a podcast, but the lawmakers and anybody with any kind of influence, what I need you to do is tell me what you're going to do to fix it. How are you really going to try to fix this? I don't need sound bites. Don't need all that political fodder, man. Cut through the BS. What are y'all really going to do to fix this? Come up with real solutions, real suggestions. Talk is cheap. Tired of it. Don't show me 12 more shootings.
Yeah, rest in peace to the people that lost their lives.
Yeah, man. Sorry, that's a heavy topic, man. Like that's just tired of it, bro. I know y'all are too. I can't imagine how the families feel.
Yeah.
So we can move on from that.
We can go from one powerful topic to another.
What you got?
If we're going to keep with the fresh breaking waves. So as of March 30th of 2023, a Manhattan grand jury has voted to indict another powerful person, former president, Donald Trump.
They're lying. They're lying. They tried to steal the election. This is all a lie. Okay. They tried to give me the virus before. I'm not a victim. You're not going to make me a victim. I'm coming back strong. I'm going to beat Meatball Ron. I'm going to beat Brandon. Sleepy Joe. I'm coming for the number one spot, Sleepy Joe. Shout out to Ludacris. He's one of my favorite rappers. He's very good. He's very good. Okay? They're trying to give me a raw deal. I'm going to beat it. I'll be back.
Well, Mr. President, what do you have to say about being the first president in U.S. history to serve as commander-in-chief and be charged with a crime?
Well, if I was president, I would just pardon myself. It's that simple. I have the power to do it. I'm very convincing.
Yeah,
Mr. President, I just want to get the quote right. Do you say you were going to beat meat raw? Is that what you're saying?
Look, Ron DeSantis came to me. He was crying. He was in tears. If it wasn't for me, Ron DeSantis would still be somewhere serving pizza. I made him who he is. It's a fact. It's a very simple thing.
So before we dig into this,
sorry, I couldn't help it. He actually did say that in his interview. Like, I'm paraphrasing it, but he did say something about him, sir. Like, he would be working in a pizza place. I was like, wait, I'm sorry, what? It's like, Ron DeSantis is Italian, man. Don't say all Italians serve pizza, bro.
That's how I took that. Immediately, that's how I took that. I didn't even know he was Italian. I was like, oh, he must be Italian. Exactly.
Yeah, the guy makes inferences like nobody else.
Yeah, man. Like, for real. Go ahead, Gar.
So before we start this, I want to shout out the news outlets that make flowcharts for what an indictment actually really is for the dummies like me. There's an article in the Washington Post that gives you a very nice flowchart of what happens after an indictment. And if y'all don't know out there, it goes two ways. You can either voluntarily surrender or get arrested. I doubt the orange one's going to want to get voluntarily surrendered.
The orange one.
So, the orange one.
So, but yeah, the flowchart's really great. I appreciate when big legal things happen in the world that news outlets know that people just don't keep up with it. And so, thank you, Internet.
Good day, Internet. Yeah. This is going to be fun to watch. Not really.
You think it's going to be on C-SPAN? You think it's going to get like hella views on C-SPAN?
I mean, probably if it makes it that far, which most likely it will. I don't know, man. I'm just.
This is going to be interesting, man. This is going to be very interesting to watch. Nothing like this has ever happened. I do question the timing slightly. I don't know. Y'all know me. I'm a little bit wild when it comes to my theories and things.
X-Files.
Yeah, man. I'm not a Trump fan. It's got nothing to do with, Republican, Democrat, nothing like that. I wasn't a big fan of his before back when he was a TV show guy. So I just feel like we're living The Apprentice every day. I'm just he doesn't go away, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and as much as the left side of the media is like, oh, he's terrible, terrible. I'm like, yeah, but you love the highlights. You love talking about him. It's like, he's just everywhere. And I'm like, okay, so you guys have brought all these different, you try to make something stick for the last, what has it been 6 years now? Biden's halfway through his presidency, 3 years, whatever. But they've been after this dude since day one, and I'm like, is this one gonna stick? It's like, is this? Oh wow, he's indicted. Okay, that's a step that's a step up.
I get on my
see how far this goes.
I'm a Kanye like, and I wonder if they know what it means. Because
Yeah, man. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I honestly, I don't have a lot to say on this topic. If I'm being 100% honest, I'm just so burnt out. The funny thing is, I will say, is of all things this dude's been accused of, the hush money for a porn star. That's the thing that's like, what?
is that the one that sticks to the wall? Like, I don't
Like, of everything.
That's straight from the Bill Clinton playbook, man. You got to get the dirty stuff out. That's the only way.
Man.
Bill Clinton had the law on his side, though.
Yeah.
He paid his hush money legally. Boy set up an LLC. I don't know what he did, but it was legal.
Yeah, there's just, I don't know. I'm a little sick of it too, man. It's something that the news likes to chew on and spit it out for everybody to get their blurbs, and then you get that. I kind of miss the old days when I used to work with this guy who used to come in just super hot every day because he used to listen to Rush Limbaugh. I kind of miss those interactions with those guys. Like, oh, did you hear about the murder? Like, calm down, dude. It's
The liberal media. This is Rush Limbaugh. The liberal media.
Yeah, dude. Like, just like I got a heart monitor on my watch. Like, I'm not trying to see. Like, are you okay? Like, I don't want my watch to tell me. Like, are you okay? You're having an AFib.
You're all calm down. Calm down.
Take 10 minutes to breathe. Like, nah, I'm all right, man. Like, yeah, you see the little blooming thing on my yeah, but I don't know. It's a lot. It always is a lot. It never will stop being a lot in this information age, and we just got to ride that because
can't stop, won't stop.
You can't stop. It won't ever stop. And the only thing we have to do is just ride that wave.
Yeah, man. So,
forever wave.
Moving along. Kong. The big bad. The man who's on top of the world. Dr. Manhattan. The bad guy in Creed. Is a bad guy in real life? Question mark?
Not a surprise. So Jonathan Majors is in big trouble this week. He got arrested for allegedly hitting his spouse.
Yeah.
I don't think she was a spouse as much as just was it a spouse?
I don't think it was. It was just a woman. They say a woman. It doesn't say spouse anywhere in anything I've read.
In that article, it said that was his partner or something. I don't know, man.
So it happened. They received the NYPD received a call around 11:14 local time after receiving a 911 call from an apartment in Manhattan's Chelsea district. They added that the woman had suffered minor head and neck injuries and was taken to the hospital. Now, Majors was released from custody Saturday night, according to NYPD. And his lawyer said he's completely innocent. They said that I saw a video, like a real quick video clip of him walking with the attorney, and the attorney said that they've got video evidence that proves he's innocent. So I think the quote, actually I found it. She said, Priya Chaudhary, by the way, this is attorney. We are quickly gathering and presenting video evidence to the district attorney with the expectation that all charges will be dropped imminently. So they sound very confident. So what do you guys think about that? Because this guy, his star is rising.
Yeah, I'll say I like Lovecraft Country. It's a pretty cool show.
That's the other one.
Yeah, that was a good show. But yeah, it's kind of it's a very quick to arrest kind of situation.
Yeah.
No wonder really what caused this whole thing to kind of spin out of control. It happens. Actors always kind of end up on the wrong side of things whenever it's whenever a party goes too hard or whatever have you. But yeah, I don't know. It seems to be like this guy's star is rising. He is into a lot of new IPs this year. He's kind of the figurehead for a lot of these new comic book movies. He's going to be the main bad guy. And
yeah.
It just seems like very convenient for him to be a bad guy in real life.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy because literally this guy's star is rising right now. Actually, if you want to concentrate on the comic book stuff for just a moment, ever since I saw this guy as Dr. Manhattan, and I was like, and then Lovecraft Country, I looked at him and I went, Icon. If you're not familiar with Icon from Milestone Media, which was bought by DC Comics, he would be perfect as Icon. He's got the body style, the head shape, everything. Icon is a black hero who, well, obviously he's black. He's an alien though. And so it's kind of Superman-y, but not really. There's like the twist on Icon, I believe, is like he's conservative or something, and he doesn't go against he goes against like your typical black norms. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's Rocket, I'll say Rocket Raccoon. It's Icon and Rocket. So that's a very cool comic book. Wasn't my favorite Milestone Media comic, but it was cool nonetheless. That's where like Static came from, or Static Shock, as people say, Hardware, and all those other guys. But yeah, this is bad timing for Disney, because Disney is suffering on all fronts right now. They're actually, I just saw a headline a little bit ago that said that they're laying people off.
Mm-hmm.
So, nobody's immune. There are layoffs happening around the industries, not the industry, or as one of my favorite podcasters says, the industry. He says it really weird. This is the industry. But there's layoffs happening all over, and Disney is having issues with the quality of Marvel films and Star Wars. So, this guy is poised to be kind of the next Thanos, for lack of a better description, or Darkseid for DC, that type. And if things come out that he actually isn't innocent, as time progresses, then are they going to recast? They're going to have to recast him.
That's going to hurt the franchise more than anything else they got going on. They're losing a lot of people as far as big wigs for that Marvel studio. So
yeah, man. Yeah,
it's very interesting timing to me. In a very interesting place. If it was LA or like, I don't know where he's from. I have no idea where the guy's from, but if he's from a small town somewhere, it's in New York. Everybody gets in trouble in New York, especially people that are budding. It's like once they're getting to the top of their celebrity, they find themselves tripped up in New York. Which is I've never been there. Don't know anybody there. Can't say much. I just like from a Texas boy who've been watching people from the internet. They always seem to get in trouble in New York. It
he's
seems
from Cali, by the way, Lompoc, Cali. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know where that is in California, but he's from Cali.
I don't know. Apparently in New York, everybody minds their business, but I guess they whip out their phones if something crazy happens. I don't know. That's just my take on it.
What about the nightsticks? World Star.
Is that even a thing anymore? Does that still exist?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't have it on my phone anymore.
Yeah. I outgrew it a little bit, but I think it's still there.
Yeah. I was going to say, I really don't go looking for that content. So.
Yeah, there's enough of it already out there in the world.
Yeah.
But
and just step outside.
The whole property thing. Yeah. Yeah. With the whole property and IP thing, I mean, it's kind of stressful to run a conglomerate when you got faces. So. It's bound to happen. It just seems to be more prevalent now when this happens, because every year you get a movie, every year you get an action figure, you get a show, you get a spin-off, you get a comic book. It's probably not as common as it was back in the day, because there just wasn't a comic book movie every year, or a plan for a 5-year kind of thing.
10 years, man.
Yeah, like another 10-year plan. Like, I don't know. It's just going to happen, dude. Celebrities are all over the internet nowadays. It's really hard to have PR for everybody. And yeah, I think the mouse ironically has to pay the piper on this one on all fronts.
Because one thing I didn't think of, guys, is, okay, so we know Creed's the big thing right now. This happened just after this man presented an award at the Oscars. What's going on with brothers in the Oscars, man? Now, this didn't happen at the Oscars, but like the timing.
1 year to the day.
I don't know.
Slap her around the world.
Something in the envelopes, man. Something in the pretation envelopes.
The envelopes.
And the winner is domestic dispute. I mean,
oh my God. Oh, good Lord.
Oh man, y'all too much, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. But let's see how this grows. Let's see how everything kind of forms. But
so riding the arrest wave, man, and the case wave. Yeah. What's up with your boy Justin Roiland, dude?
It's not my boy. But,
I just know you're a Rick and Morty fan. I put that on you. My bad.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but one case is starting, one case is dismissed. We'll put it that way. There's a revolving door of cases in Hollywood going in and out. But yeah, it looks like Justin Roiland's case was dropped due to lack of evidence. So doesn't mean he didn't do it. It just means that there's not enough to charge him on.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Rick put
I
it
think
in
the
the
guy
portal,
soiled.
bro.
Yeah. Oh,
Evidence is
geez. Well, geez, you put all the evidence in the portal, right, Rick? Yeah, sure, Morty.
Yeah. I can't even do this voice very well.
I mean, I kind of put the text messages out there, but yeah, no, like,
Don't trip, dog.
Yeah. I think his reputation is already sullied just because of the texts that were out there and people coming forward with these allegations and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, you could beat a case, but can you get back your notoriety? That's another thing too. It's really hard to live and die by media and entertainment because one day you're the wave, the next day you're not even a part of the thing you created. So,
yeah. So
it's just crazy.
Do you think that he will get his? Well, he's probably not going to get his job back. I think they've moved on.
Yeah.
That's actually a dumb question on my part.
Yeah, they already named new people for Rick and Morty to continue that going. I think maybe he can rekindle, like he's got the video game that just dropped this year, something along. He can become an animator or a story writer somewhere, but I don't ever think he'll be what he was.
The same.
That public persona, once it crashes, is a hard thing to pick back up.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know. It just to make cartoons, you got to be a little bit screwed up. I've said that before. It's no exception. Let's just see what happens and plays out here. If somebody wants to advocate for him and give him another platform, then so be it. Let's see what Vox Populi says. As
such a big word these days, platform.
I'm sure that somebody needs eyeballs somewhere, and they'll work with them. They go, hey, case was dismissed. Facts are facts. Someone's gonna say it.
I feel like handlers are gonna get a big boost this year in revenue, like the celebrity and like all those people that follow Shia LaBeouf around and stuff. Like those guys got double duty right now. They got creators, they got actors. It's not gonna be just Shia no more.
I tried to watch him on John Bernthal. I was getting sleepy.
Bro. Oh man, he is insane with Catholicism. It's just another way to funnel that crazy manic actor thing. And then he was talking like a cholo, bro. Like I don't get it. Like
it's like, really weird, right?
Yeah, dude. It's like, all right, man. You look the part. You don't have to like go all the East LA, man. Like,
he played that one role, and then he just like never left.
Yeah, dude.
It's just like I like the way this feels. I'm gonna take a walk in these shoes every day, man.
That's the problem with Latinos. We invite one guy in, and then he's like that forever. It's just like, man, we don't want him.
You can have him back.
whoever he belonged to previously, Shia.
Well,
man, this Chaya.
I tell you what, man. Can you guys take 6ix9ine back too, Tekashi?
I don't think he was ever ours. Oh man, he got busted up in that sauna or whatever.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
Dang.
Yeah,
a lot of ratchet. Yeah, you're right. A lot of ratchet waves.
Yeah, there is. And just to wrap it up here with Mr. Roiland, I hope the guy gets the help that he needs. I hope he's learned a lesson, but judging by his Twitter, where he say justice, I mean, is it really though? It seems like he's going to go back to probably just being a scumbag. And well, let me not say that. It's not fair. He's probably going to go back to doing what he's been doing now that he is free of charges. Again, I think somebody's going to take the risk and they're going to go, hey, your loss is my gain. And they'll write out a very careful contract. Like you said, he'll have a handler. They'll say, look, as long as you color inside these lines here, we're good to go. And then he will be competing with his old show. That'll be interesting. I really think he'll be back in the animation game within a year, maybe 2.
Yeah, I agree. Dude had one of the biggest shows of all time in the last.
It won an Emmy, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's no way this guy's just gonna sit back and be like, okay, well, my career's done. It was a good run.
Yeah, it takes a level of egoism too to like really get past something like this. Be like, nah, I still have a shot. I don't know. It's a slippery slope. It's another slippery slope.
Yeah, it is. So, you guys have had your confessionals over the last few. Well, since the existence of the show, I'm acting like it's only a recently thing, but I don't drink much, but I feel lately I've had a little bit of more fun on the weekends than I normally do, and I'm just kind of tired of it. So I didn't know there was a movement for this, but there's something called the sober curious movement. And when I have drinks, it's a couple, usually a week. Like I may have a glass of wine at dinner 1 or 2 nights. I've been hanging out with my neighbors, having a couple drinks with them. Probably 1 week in a month, maybe 2 recently. But my whole thing, man, is I just feel like I'm over it. I need a fresh start. I read an article about this runner, and it was, of all places, Women's Health. So I went out. I didn't drink much. I think I had 4, maybe 5 drinks. I was okay to drive home. Nobody freak out. I wasn't partying hard in the paint. But the next day, I still felt like doo-doo. Absolute doo-doo. And as I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of wallowing in this stuff, this article popped up and it's called Peak Performance. And the sub headline, right? That's the biggest headline. Sub headline is a glass of wine or a cocktail here, a workout class or 10K there. When should you forego alcohol in favor of exercise goals or overall wellness? Women's Health investigates. Now, I'm not a frequent reader of Women's Health. I didn't even know it was them. I just saw the headline, and that was enough to make me curious. But there are some statistics they present in this article that I thought you two may find interesting. And so 8% is the decline in recovery that users of fitness tracker Whoop experienced on average after drinking alcohol the night before. Consuming alcohol had the single greatest negative impact on next day recovery per the Whoop study. And that makes sense because, alcohol has an impact on your body, and depending on your gender, your body mass, your age, and other variables, it could have greater or lesser impact. So it delays hydration, the hydration process. It inhibits carbohydrate and protein intake. So if you're a guy that's smashing protein shakes, or not even a guy, a person who's smashing protein shakes, and you're trying to load up on your carbs so you can go and hit the gym and then bulk up and stuff, alcohol is going to deeply impact that. Now, you guys know I lift weights. I'm not a big gym bro. I don't think I'm that big of a guy, although I have put on weight recently in muscle. Well, that wasn't my goal. I was just trying to be stronger. But the point is I can feel the difference when I do drink versus when I don't. And I go through these long stretches where I don't. I do feel a lot better. I feel healthier. There's this, I don't know about you two, but there's like this toxicity period, especially if you have multiple drinks. Like if I have 1, maybe 2, I'm okay. But once you get in that 3, 4 range, maybe 5, if I'm staying at home, not going anywhere, the next day you just get kind of like, ugh. So,
Yeah.
There's another thing I wanted to point out here. So this is part of the whole sober curious movement, and I'll talk about that at length a little bit more here momentarily. There's a couple other tidbits I want to point out. 35% of adults 21 and over in the U.S. ditched alcohol in January 2022. That was an increase of 21% from 2019. So more and more people are making that New Year's resolution, that promise to themselves, whatever you want to call it, and saying, you know what? I'm good. I don't need it, or I don't need it for a while. So Before I continue on, I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on those couple little nuggets of information I gave you.
Well, I don't know. For me, man, this is a very vicarious topic for me to judge on. I have habits in my family, and I've made great strides over the last few months to break bad habits of mine.
Yeah.
But this is also a habit that I've kind of increased on in breaking other bad habits that I used to do. So something that I agree with you in a lot of these aspects on. I don't think you're wrong in any way. It's just like, I don't know, it's one of those look yourself in the mirror moments too, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, I hadn't really thought about that. Now I'm thinking about this. It's like,
Well, you know, and alcoholism runs in both sides of my family. So I don't know if that's a genetic thing. I didn't do a deep study into that. I just woke up, man, feeling different, saying, I don't enjoy this anymore. I like a stout. I like a porter, an occasional IPA or a Belgian Tripel. And that's strictly beer. You guys know I've been a fan of scotch for a long time. I like a good bourbon. I like a good wine. But I just, more and more, I'm like, no. I like, interesting enough, I like coffee. I like tea. But more and more, I'm feeling like I don't even want to have caffeine. Like, I had coffee today. It was nice, but I went a few days without it and I didn't miss it. There's just this overall change that's happening with me. I don't know if it's just getting older. I don't know if it's a maturity thing. You know,
you're just getting
I don't
old,
know. It could be it. That might be it. You know, I know with the sober curiosity movement, you know, you had challenges like Sober October, and I'd never heard of Dry January. Have you guys ever heard of that?
No, those aren't even the same letters, bro.
Right, maybe Dryuary. Probably what they should call it. But you know, they encourage people to reevaluate their alcohol use and try to break habits like drinking without thinking or drinking just because other people do.
Drinking without thinking.
That's what I was doing. So I can chime in.
Go ahead.
For about 5 years of my life.
Yep.
About this. Like, I did spend 5 years kind of nailed to the bar, and I've made a lot of leaps and strides to the point to where I don't like drinking anymore. I think I have to really prepare myself if I'm going to hang out with some friends and have self-control to have one or two. But even then, it's still always like a struggle for me just because I was always trying to keep up.
Yeah.
I was always trying to force myself to go out and do these things. And I did a lot of bad things. I did a lot of things that cost like my health and my mental health and a bunch of other things too. And I just wasn't sleeping good. And I picked up other bad habits along the way too. So when I started really thinking about this, like, you know, I was stressed out for doing like work functions because I know I had to drink. Like, that's not healthy. Like, those things were just mounting on my shoulders in a way where I knew I didn't need them. And when it came down to it, I started trying to practice more self-control. And that's why I did that, the No Nut November. You know, it wasn't related, but it was like a systematic reset for me to kind of rewire my brain into just like not giving in to impulse and like a FOMO, you know, like a fear of missing out, a fear of going out. And right now the inverse is kind of happening to me right now, where I kind of struggle going out, and y'all know that, but it just takes a level of self-control, and moderation is always like a double-edged sword, because you practice moderation because you cannot control yourself. And so you see the 2 beers on their table, but you're fantasizing about the 40 that you drank over that last weekend when you really had the last bender or whatever. Like 40 is a crazy number, but that's like Wade Boggs numbers. But, you know, like you can put it in any kind of vice. It could be bad food. It could be whatever. Like, but when it comes down to it, like on a personal note, and also as a like message to you, like I've seen myself grow and change more without these substances. And whenever I do try and cut loose and do these things, I find that it doesn't serve me anymore. And I'm glad that you're coming to that point to where you're starting to see that there's life goes on without these things. And yeah, it doesn't have to be forever. You can still celebrate. You're still entitled to a reverie, you know?
Yes. That's funny because that's kind of, you read my mind, basically. I was going to move into, this doesn't have to be permanent. This doesn't have to be forever, you know? I have no defined timeline. Like, I'm not going to say, hey, it's going to be a week. It's going to be a month, 2 months, a quarter, a year, a decade. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a friend's wedding. One of my closest friends' wedding is coming up in April. I know they all drink. So, well, most of them drink, and I'll be around it. I mean, will I have one? I don't know. I might, but I don't plan on having one until then. If I do, I'll kind of evaluate the situation. But I will say this. I'm actually excited by the discovery of going out with friends and not drinking when they're partying. It's going to be weird for them. And I'll just tell them, I don't want to. Come on. Eh. And it's not that I feel I'm better than anybody. I'm not trying to, be a straight edge guy or be, some sort of elitist or anything like that. I could still have fun with you guys. I know people who don't go out drinking because they don't want to be tempted to drink. And I respect that. I 100% respect that. I don't feel that I'm going to be in that category. I don't think that I'm going to sit there and be like, man, I really want that beer. Oh man, I really need that. Like, no, I'm good. Let me get a hot tea. Let me get a, tonic water or something, I don't know, mineral water, and give me milk in a dirty glass.
Yeah, there's always something, man. Like, you don't have to follow the 12 steps because those are pretty harsh. They always call you a drunk, even if you're not.
Right.
But there's just there's a way for everybody to kind of get through without having to feel that pickled feeling that you were mentioned. Like, I feel like I would pickle myself and mummify myself. Like, yeah, dude, wake up in the morning stiff, joints popping everywhere, and like not drinking water because my stomach hurts. Like,
no hangover, no, as you mentioned, trouble sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't experience the difficulty in concentrating per se, but it's just that wave, that queasiness, just that uneasy. Like, we did an episode a couple of shows ago, right, where Marsh and I both had gone out the night before we recorded, and that day it was just kind of wavery. It's like, ugh,
yeah,
try to eat things, try to drink things to kind of settle that out. But there was
some
still
crackers. I need some crackers.
Yo, for real. I mean, there's just this level of toxicity, man, like in my body. And I just was like, I don't like this anymore. Oh my God.
I mean, it's good to see it now rather than, waking up and not knowing what the hell happened.
Yeah.
Or your liver just being like, okay, I'm done.
Well,
or just breaking your body. That's another thing too. People, man, like, my mom has let go people at her job that like can't function without it. And they would go to like these drug tests and still have alcohol in their system and their hands would be shaking. But to them, they were straight. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just a freaking bad place to be. And like, shout out to anybody who's struggling with that right now. I hope there's, more water than beer in your future.
What I do like about our generation, and I'm at the tail end of it. You guys are still kind of, you're in your prime. Being sober is a lot more popular these days. When I was growing up, and you heard me mention it earlier, Trey. There was this thing called straight edge. That was more like in the rock and punk scene. Yeah,
CM Punk.
Well,
got X's on my hands, man.
These guys, they didn't do drugs, they didn't drink, they didn't do like promiscuous, sex or sleeping around and stuff like that. So these guys were like, they could be militant about it. I've met some straight edge dudes that were just kind of like, I mean, I don't like what you're doing to yourself, but do you, boo? You know what I mean? But I've met other guys that are like, really, bro? Really? Is that what you want to do, bro? All right, bro. It's like, calm down, man. I'm just having a beer. put that poison in your body. You can leave the party. That's what you can do. If he's here, I'm not here. I've walked out. It's like, I'm not going to listen to this dude. You came to a party to come preach. We're good here. So
it can be a good way for some people to really cope with this life. I guess what it boils down to, there's a lot of ways that adults cope, and you find that as you become an adult, and it becomes complicated if you don't manage it well.
No matter what it is.
It's not like, and it's just the same rush that you got when you were a kid, like eating sugary cereal and watching cartoons, but it's in a different, more destructive fashion. Like, yeah, I only equate it to that because that's like, it's like an innocent joy that you pick up on and stuff. But yeah, this stuff has consequences. Everything always does.
Yeah, yes, once you get to be a certain age, everything you do has a consequence to it. And it doesn't matter what it is. It can be the liquor. It can be some other things. It could be money. It could be love. It could be the way you look for those things or want to come about those things. So many addictions that you can have out there that are detrimental to the soul, the pureness of the person.
Yeah, you can throw yourself into work. You can be addicted to work.
Yeah, you can.
Be addicted to like achieving or sports or whatever. It's just,
money.
Yeah, money, like Trey brought up too, like you can have a gold rush in your head that never ends.
Yep.
Or you can gamble, or you can do stuff. I had problems with gambling the other time. I told you guys, like, yeah, dude, those are things. And it's good that we can talk about these things because it should just be like an open thing that people should talk about. And I know a lot of people are reserved in their private lives and at work or what have you, but I'm glad that we can come together and talk about these kinds of things because it's something that was on your mind, and I appreciate and I cherish the fact that you brought it up to us. And yeah, man, I hope it goes the way you want it to. I hope it's everything that you want and more, and later on it's not that bad,
Yeah. I'm not looking for a pat on the back or anything. I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, good for you. Not saying that that's how you two feel, but our listeners. But it's just starting. I don't know. I don't know what this is going to look like. I'm kind of just walking into this without a plan, and I'm just seeing what happens. So, thank you guys for listening and giving me your thoughts on it and your support. So I do appreciate that. And that goes to the listeners out there too. I'll try to document some of this. So I'm not going to be like the guy on, have y'all seen the Instagram video or the reel or the TikTok, whatever it is, the short, but the guy holds up a thing and he's like, this is day one without beating my meat. This is day 2 without beating my meat. This is day 1 without beating my meat. He goes, this is the same day.
Nice.
It's just 3 hours after beating my meat.
Yeah, that was a terrible November, man.
Hey, you know what though? You came out stronger and wisdomous.
Well, it came out stronger, for sure.
Hello.
Man.
Yeah, dude. Damn near blew the freaking wall open. Yeah.
What's that? I seen something. I don't remember what movie this was. I was watching a movie one time. I feel like it was one of the scary movies.
It was.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. You get spider web to the wall.
That was Spider-Man.
That's how car was on December 15th.
Yeah, just leave me alone. It's December 1st. I put all the frames down on my family, turned the pictures around, turned off the radio and everything. I was just like, no, it's just candle time.
Candle time.
The neighbors heard.
They just heard afterwards. It was great. But no, man, it's you're gonna find a lot of humor in these situations too. And I think that'll be a beautiful thing, man. So, I appreciate you, brother.
For some reason, I thought you were going to go, what's his name? From 300, Xerxes. You will find I am kind.
Nah, I think you'll find yourself to be more kind to yourself and more forgiving of stuff. And it'll be cool, man. Like, it'll be really cool. And it's just a path that you wanted to take. And you're right. It's not letting anything go. It's opening another door. That's what it is.
It's just kind of like an extension of what I feel I normally do. It's like ever since becoming a parent, and then adding multiple children and then being outnumbered by children at 3-on-2. I'm living my life playing zone defense. Since adding those to the equation, I have to be alert. I got to be of sound mind 90% of the time, 95, 98 sometimes. But again, there are stretches where I don't drink and I don't even think about it. And it's like, oh, man, I haven't had wine in a while. Huh. And then I go about my business and I'm like, you know what? I want to have a glass of wine. And then I intend to have a glass of wine and then I don't because I'm too tired or it's late or I'm like, oh man, because I got to go do this thing and I got to get on the exercise bike, whatever the case may be. So I think filling my time with other stuff, I want to start drinking like different types of teas now and start finding like all these different drinks that are non-alcoholic. Like I'm not going to go drink like O'Doul's or something. Ugh, I don't like beer that much. But, when people are making these cocktails, I'm like, well, what if you just gave me everything else that's not alcohol? If I want to feel like I'm drinking alcohol, put some pickle juice in that or something. I don't know.
I don't know. You can have kombucha too.
Kombucha's dope. I like kombucha.
Yeah. I made some for a while. It was pretty cool. But yeah, dude, it is just a prop. That's all it is. It's a prop to put in your hand. And if you treat it that way, it'll pay you off in strides, man. Like, yeah, dude. It'll be good.
Be at the corporate Christmas party. And you'd be like, oh man, you're just pounding those things. How do you stay so sober? Oh man, I gotta. For those of you who can't hear, I'm patting my stomach. Man, I can hold him down. What's he drinking?
A little different, yo.
Right.
Seltzer.
What's he drinking? Sparkling grape juice.
You never know sparkling grape juice is?
Exactly.
Gaston, like all yeah.
All quietly. Just make it look like, do me a favor, just hold the bottle in front of this one and pour that one.
Oh, do you want more alcohol, sir? Sure, let me go into the back and get you more alcohol. Yeah.
Can't see us winking at each other.
He goes to the back like, hey, the nerd in the back, the straight edge one, get him more grape juice. Like,
we got another milk in the dirty glass. All right, fellas. Cool though, man. Well, again, I appreciate y'all. We appreciate the listeners out there giving us their love and support. This was a little light on some of the topics, but I wanted to save room to have this discussion because we don't get to do these heartfelt things like that all the time. So, you guys got anything else you want to add?
Stay tuned, man. A lot going on in the world, and we'll be here to talk about it. So, I appreciate you here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace.